the place where we decode the hidden dynamics of attraction, confidence, and power, so you can elevate your game and become a man that women can't stop thinking about today. I am about to reveal something most men never figure out. The three questions that can make a woman go from casually interested to completely obsessed with you. But before we dive into these game-changing secrets, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Stio Extreme, and drop a comment below. I want to hear from you. Have you ever asked a question that instantly changed the way a woman looked at you? Or maybe one that completely killed the vibe? Let's start a why questions create instant attraction conversation. Now let's talk about the biggest mistake most men make when trying to attract women. They think it's about looks or money, or trying to impress her with big gestures. Wrong attraction. The kind that makes a woman obsess over you, crave your attention, and think about you even when you're not. Question number one around isn't about what you have, it's about how you make her feel. And here's the real secret. Most guys try too hard. They chase over, explain, or try to be overly impressive, and in the process they lose that natural magnetic pull that keeps a woman interested. But the men who know how to create deep psychologic aisle attraction, they do something completely different. They ask the right questions, not just small talk, not just compliments, but the kind of powerful, thought-provoking questions that trigger emotions and make her feel like you understand her on a different level than any other guy today. I'm breaking down three specific questions that do just that. These questions work because they do three things. They make her open up in a way she doesn't with most men. They create a unique emotional experience that she subconsciously links to you. They make her think about you long after the conversation is over. And once you plant these thoughts in her mind, she won't be able to stop replaying them. This is what separates the men who get ignored or forgotten from the men who leave a lasting impact. So, if you're ready to take your conversations to the next level and learn how to make women crave your presence, stay with me because question D1, the power of emotional connection. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to create an unforgettable connection that makes her think about you. Non-stop, let's dive in. Question number one, what's something you've never told anyone before? This isn't just a question, it's a psychological doorway into a woman's emotions, thoughts, and deepest feelings. It's a question that catches her off guard in the best way possible. Think about it. Most conversations, especially with someone new, follow a predictable pattern. Where are you from? What do you do for work? What do you like to do for fun? Blah, blah, blah. She's heard it all. Question number two before, but when you ask, what's something you've never told anyone before? Everything changes. Why is this question so powerful? It does something that very few questions can do. It stirs ocean and creates a sense of exclusivity. Women don't become obsessed with men because of their looks or wealth alone. They become hooked on how a man makes them feel. And this question makes her feel something deep. It forces her to reflect. This isn't a question she can answer in autopilot. She has to stop, think, and dig into her emotions. And in that moment, you have her full attention. It builds instant trust and intimacy by inviting her to share something she's never told anyone before. You create a space of vulnerability and connection. It makes her feel comfortable, intrigued, and most importantly, drawn to you. It sets you apart from 99% of men. Most guys are question number two, triggering deep interest, too busy trying to impress women by bragging or showing off. Yet you're making her feel safe, seen, and understood, and trust me, that's rare. How to ask this question the right way? Just dropping this question casually won't have the same effect. You have to deliver it in a way that makes it feel special and meaningful. One, choose the right moment. This is not a question to ask randomly. Wait for a moment when she's already engaged in the conversation, when she feels comfortable, when there's a natural lull that allows for deeper dialogue. Two, lower your voice slightly. If you ask this question in a soft, confident tone, it instantly creates a sense of intimacy. It makes her feel like this isn't just small talk. This is something different. Third, hold eye contact. When you look directly into her eyes as you ask, it makes the moment feel more personal. She'll feel a subtle but powerful pull towards you. 4. Give her space to think. Don't rush her. If she pauses, let the silence build the tension. Question number 3, the longer she takes, the more deeply she's reflecting and the more meaningful her answer will be. 5. React authentically if she shares something funny. Laugh with her if she shares something deep. Acknowledge it with genuine curiosity. The key is to make her feel like what she's saying matters to you, and here's the best part: if she flips the question back to you, that's a strong sign of interest. It means she's engaged, curious, and wants to know more. Question number 3, making her see you as irresistible about you. 2. What happens after you ask? After she answers, she'll start seeing you differently. She'll feel like you understand her in a way most men don't. She'll associate you with deep, meaningful conversation. She'll find herself thinking about you later, wondering why she felt so connected to you in such a short time. And that's how attraction works. It's not about what you look like or what you have. It's about how you make a feel. This isn't just a question, it's a psychological trigger that makes her crave more of you. And once you use it, she won't just like you. She'll start becoming obsessed with you. Question of 2, if you could wake up tomorrow with a completely new life, what would it look like? This question isn't just a conversation starter. It's a window into her dreams, desires, and hidden longings. Most conversations stay trapped in reality. People talk about work, family, weekend plans, things that are ordinary, expected, and quite honestly boring. But this question, it breaks her out of that mental cage. It forces her to stop and imagine a life beyond her current circumstances. It taps into something deep and emotional, her fantasies, her aspirations, the version of herself she wishes she could be. And the best part, she's not just thinking about that dream life, she's associating those feelings with you. Why this question works like magic. It triggers deep emotion. Women aren't attracted to logic. They're drawn to emotion, and this question makes her final thoughts feel excitement, curiosity, and possibility. All at once, it makes you stand out while most guys are bonus tips for attraction, asking, "What do you do for work?" or "What kind of music do you like?" You're making her mind escape into a world of imagination and desire. It gives you instant insight into who she really is. What she chooses to describe in her dream life would tell you so much about her. Is she adventurous? Maybe she dreams of waking up in a new country every week. Is she ambitious? Maybe she envisions herself running a company or being wildly successful. Is she romantic? Maybe her dream life revolves around love, connection, and passion. Whatever she says, you now have powerful information about what excites her, what motivates her, and what she truly craves in life. And once you know that you can become the man who embodies those things, how to ask this question for maximum impact. 1, set the scene instead of just dropping the question. Casually paint the picture first. Say something like, imagine this, you go to sleep tonight, and when you wake up tomorrow, your entire life is different. Not in a bad way, but in the best way possible. Everything is exactly how you've always wanted it. It to be no limits, no obstacles, no fears, just your perfect life. What does it look like by setting the stage? You're making the question feel more immersive, more cinematic, like she's stepping into a dream. 2, watch her eyes light up. When a woman starts describing her dream life, you'll notice something incredible. Her energy shifts, her voice gets more excited. She starts picturing herself in this amazing reality, and it feels real to her. And since you were the one who made her feel that way, she'll subconsciously associate that excitement with you. 3, engage with her answer like a pro. Most guys listen just to respond to you. You're going to listen to make her feel heard and understood. If she describes an adventurous life that's wild, you really crave freedom, don't you? If she talks about success, I can tell you, have big dreams, what's stopping you from chasing them? If she talks about love and passion, that sounds incredible. Do you think that kind of love really exists? The goal is to go deeper. Make her feel like she's having one of the most intriguing conversations of her life. 4. Flip the script once she's fully invested in her dream life. She'll probably ask, "What about you?" Here's where you lock in the emotional connection. Instead of giving a generic answer, craft a response that aligns with hers in some way, not in a forced way, but in a way that subtly builds a connection. For example, if she wants to travel the world, you can say that actually sounds incredible. I've always wanted to live in different countries for a few months at a time. Just experience everything life has to offer if she wants to start her own business. You can say, "I respect that so much. I think building something of your own is one of the most fulfilling things you can do." If she wants deep love, you can say, "That's rare these days. Most people settle for something average, but I get why you'd want something more." This subtly aligns you with her vision. Now in her mind, you're not just some guy. You're a man who understands her on a deeper level. The aftermath, what happens next? Once you ask this question, she won't forget you. Because while other guys made her talk about her job, her routine, or her weekend plans, you made her talk about her dreams. You made her imagine a better version of her life. You made her feel excited and inspired, and most importantly, you made her associate those powerful feelings with you. And that's the kind of impact that makes a woman think about you long after the conversation is over. Question number 3, what do you think makes a guy truly unforgettable? This isn't just a question. It's a psychological trigger that makes a woman subconsciously define in the exact qualities that will make her obsessed with you. Why? Because when you ask a woman, "What do you think makes a guy truly unforgettable?" You're doing something genius. You're making her tell you exactly what she finds irresistible in a man. You're getting her to think about the kind of man who leaves a permanent mark on her heart and mind, and most importantly, you're positioning yourself as that man. Most guys try to impress women by showing off, bragging, or trying to act cool, but you're making her define her deepest attractions and desires while she's looking straight at you. Why this question is so powerful? This question works because it forces her to focus on the kind of man who sticks in her mind long after he's gone. It makes her reflect on past emotions. Maybe she's had experiences where she couldn't stop thinking about a certain guy. Now she's living those emotions and associating them with you. It makes her create an ideal version of a man writing in front of you. And once she does, she won't be able to ignore the fact that she's describing the exact qualities you can start embodying. It subtly puts you in a position of importance. When you ask this question, she automatically starts thinking of you in the same category as the unforgettable men she's known. And that's when the magic happens, how to ask this question for maximum impact one. Ask it like you're letting her in on a secret instead of throwing this question out casually. Lower your voice slightly and make it feel exclusive. Say something like, "I've always wondered this. You've probably met a lot of guys. Some forgettable, some who really stuck with you. What do you think actually makes a man music?" Unforgettable by phrasing it this way, you make it feel like a genuine curiosity, not a test or a trick, to watch her body language closely when she starts thinking about her answer. Notice how her energy changes. She might pause for a second as memories of past experiences flood her mind. She might smile as if she's recalling a man who once left a deep impression on her. She might get a dreamy look in her eyes as if she's picturing the perfect man. All of this is gold through engage with her answer in a way that builds attraction. No matter what she says, you can use her answer to build deeper. Intrigue, if she says confidence, a guy who walks into a room and just owns it, you respond interesting. So it's not just about looks, it's about presentance. A guy who can make me feel safe but also challenge me, you respond, "I like that." So you want a guy who keeps you on your toes but still has your back. When it counts, someone who has passion, who's going after something bigger. You respond. So ambition is a big one for you. What's the most attractive goal a guy could be chasing? See what's happening here. Instead of just accepting her answer and moving on, you're digging deeper. You're making her think, reflect, and engage with you in a way she doesn't with most men for flip the script and give an answer that hooks her. At some point, she'll probably ask, "What about you? What do you think makes a woman unforgettable?" This is where you lock in the attraction instead of giving a generic answer. Say something that subtly challenges her. For example, an unforgettable woman is someone who doesn't try too hard to be unforgettable. She just is the way she carries herself, the way she makes people feel. Those little details stay with you. And the funny thing is, most women don't even realize they're doing it. Why does this work? It creates mystery. You're not just listing qualities, you're making her wonder. Does he think I'm that kind of woman? It makes her feel special. She'll start thinking about the little things she does that might make her stand out. It keeps you in control of the conversation. Now, instead of just answering her question, you're making her think even more about you. What happens after you ask this? This question doesn't just make for great conversation. It plants a psychological seed in her mind because after she defines what makes a man unforgettable, she'll start looking for those traits in you. And if you carry yourself with confidence, presence, and depth, she won't just be answering your question. She'll be realizing you might be the exact man. She's describing final takeaway, how to make her think about you. Nonstop, you've just unlocked 3 powerful psychological questions that do more than just spark a great conversation. They embed you in her mind in a way that's almost impossible to shake. But remember, it's not just what you ask, it's how you ask it. Most guys make the mistake of keeping conversations surface level and predictable. They ask basic questions, give generic compliments, and follow the same script. Every other guy follows, but the men who truly stand out, the men who live in a woman's thoughts long after the conversation is over, they know how to make her feel something different. How to become unforgettable. There are 3 key elements that separate a forgettable interaction from an irresistible one. When you create emotional highs, attraction is illogical. It's emotional. Women don't fool for a guy because of his looks alone. They fool for the way he makes them feel. If you can make a woman feel intrigued, challenged, understood, excited, she will link those emotions to you. That's why these questions are so powerful. They take her out of the ordinary. Push her into deeper emotional territory and make her feel like you see something in her that others don't. 2, you keep an element of mystery. The fastest way to kill attraction is to be too predictable, too available, or too eager to impress. When a woman can predict your every move, she loses interest. But when you leave a little mystery, when she can't quite figure you out, when she's left wondering what you're thinking, it creates tension. That tension, that curiosity, that's what keeps you in her mind. Don't overshare too quickly. Don't be an open book right away. Let her wonder about you, because the more she wonders, the more she thinks about you. 3, you make every interaction feel different. A woman will never be obsessed with a man who makes her feel the same way every other guy does. If you want to be unforgettable, you need to make her feel like she's experiencing something unique with you. That's why these 3 questions work so well. They make her open up in a way she doesn't with other guys. Make her imagine a world outside of her everyday routine. Make her define what makes a man truly unforgettable while you're the one leading that conversation. And once she associates those feelings with you, she won't just be attracted. She'll be hooked. Final thought, the power of psychological attraction. The best part? She won't even realize why she's thinking about you. She'll just know that when she's alone, when she's scrolling through her phone, when she's laying in bed at night, your name keeps coming back into her mind. Not because you forced it, not because you begged for her attention, but because you understood what most men never do. Attraction isn't about what you say. It's about how you make her feel. And now you have the blueprint. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to So Extreme, and drop a comment below. Let me know which of these 3 questions are you going to try first. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay confident, and as always, keep leveling up.